Welcome to the bold analysis. I concur with those who have been reaching out to me and pointing out that there is a striking resemblance on how the UDA administration handled the latest scandals. That is the 4 billion KEMSA scandal that was involving the mosquito net and the condemned sugar that disappeared from a go-down from a warehouse in Thika. Striking resemblance on immediately it was flagged, we saw straight firing of officials or other state officials that probably were linked to it. And again, after that, we also saw immediately people getting replaced, or rather the officers getting replaced. While there is a bit of an emphasis on investigation, but the truth of the matter here is we are seeing less action on the other side of investigation, apart from just what the president has done, which is what president does is administrative. It is just an administrative move because the president is not an investigator. So what we've been looking for is a situation where after firing, a lot of emphasis on investigation. In fact, for me, we would pay more attention into what will come out of those investigations. Ladies and gentlemen, the condemned sugar story looks like a movie. Michelle Obama once said that leadership will not change you, but leadership exposes you. Leadership will always expose you. And so, I want us to look at step by step what happened on the sugar issue so that we come up with the real story. Because I know many people just are not getting grasp of what exactly happened. So if you really want to know, I want to urge you to make sure you watch this video to the end. But allow us to talk about Jay's Flowers Limited for a while first. Hi guys, my name is Kevin of the Bold Analysis. Are you looking for fresh Kenyan flour? Then you need credible, certified and trusted company. And that is why I want to introduce to you Jay's Flowers Limited. Jay's Flowers Limited is a company that is currently based at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And what you need to do is very simple. When you place your order with Jay's Flowers Limited, they will help you to get fresh flowers from the farm and also process the exportation to the country of destination. This is a trusted company that is currently working with clients from 7 continents across the world. What you need to know, you need to get more information by contacting them here, plus 254 7433 94954. Jay's Flowers Limited, the home of quality flowers. Now, you can help marketing Kenyan flower outside there. So if you know someone who is interested and want to export Kenyan flour from Kenya, contact Jay's Flowers Limited there. This sugar was imported in 2018 from Zimbabwe. My simple calculation tells me between the time it was imported to when this story is coming out is 5 years. So when it was imported here, KEBS flagged it as that it was unfit for consumption. And according to the regulation of KEBS, when a product is flagged as being unfit, it is they are either destroyed or reshipped back to the country of origin, but at the cost of the importer. Government does not incur that cost. But something happened. Despite of it, that is the regulation, this sugar was kept in a go-down in Mombasa for the last 5 years. ladies and gentlemen. So the regulation is there, but it was not effected. It was not reshipped, neither were they destroyed. So it was in a go down in Mombasa. Now this year, in 2023 there was a company that is in Nairobi here that but contacted the importer of the said sugar and asked them to be handed over that sugar. Instead of it being destroyed or reshipped back, it will be handed to them and they will use it to process ethanol. My guess is that maybe that is a company that is in wines and spirit or something, manufacturing space. So, and again, if you do your research, you'll realize that those are the most companies in Thika are into that space. So they were given green light, and on 12th April, the consignment of 20,000 bags of sugar were actually left Mombasa, and it took 8 days for that consignment to arrive here in Nairobi, and they were taken to a go down in Thika. I don't know why 8 days, because even if it were, Nairobi to Mombasa, 8 days, even that's also a question mark. That's also a question you can think about. But when they were being released in Mombasa, it was overseen by a multi-agency team, both KEBS and the DCI. Then when they arrived in Thika, they were locked in the go down, and that arrival was also presided over by a multi-agency team of KEBS and DCI. So they arrived on 20th April. Now, on March 4th, that was 2 weeks later, when KEBS went back just to check that consignment, they found out nothing was there. And that consignment was missing. It disappeared. So, allegedly, KEBS raised the red flag that now that consignment is not there, could be it's already in the market, or maybe it was already sold. But I am not buying that narrative of a fear that that consignment was in the market, because if it was taken to the go down on 20th, and these guys went there by 4th and it was not there, so probably it was released. Maybe it was stolen. Use the word stolen. Maybe it was stolen in the month of towards the end of April. Then if it is to be in some company to be repackaged, then it has been consumed. And if it was that poisonous as we had been, it was condemned before, then would have had maybe some health, people would have been raising questions, maybe distress from the population. And if that sugar was to be sold in the shelf, and the person who wanted to sell it, then it would have been stolen even from the go down in Mombasa. It wouldn't have taken them transport of bringing it to Thika, someone spending money to bring it to Thika, only for it again to be stolen, to be repackaged for selling in the shelves. I don't think that will be it. And again, I'm not an expert, but for 5 years, guys who are in the chemical, chemical, space, 5 years, will it still be in good state? You know. Something we are not being told here, and this is what personally I'm also seeing. We are simply being pushed on, maybe it was sold. But why not? Because it was to be brought in Thika for the ethanol guy, why are we not appreciating the fact that maybe it's taken to the ethanol guy? And so, 27 people were fired, and the KEBS MD was also fired. suspended, others were suspended, 27 people suspended, the MD fired immediately. That's administrative. That's administrative. Even that KEMSA, sending home the PS was sacked. Of course, she's an appointee of the president, so she's so much disadvantaged. But those who are appointed through public service, maybe they have to be suspended and clean their name. Those are found guilty, are charged, and so. And so, it points a bit of, it gives a gesture, it gives us a taste of what will be William Ruto's mantra in terms of fighting corruption. Sacking, it's fine, and I fully support. First, you need to create impression, because when you sack people that are involved, then anyone who was also in the mischief, you're going to create an element of fright. People will fear that, okay, I stand the risk of losing my job. Or it also depicts the president as a ruthless man when it comes to corruption. But it doesn't end at that depiction. If you go for investigation, if the investigation is deep, the sacking is for the optics, because the country is worried. Maybe, this is happening. What has the president done? It is answering the question of what has the president done. And what the president has done is what he can do, the suspending. But we have investigations. So what will make us see the seriousness and the objectiveness in fighting corruption is how the investigative agencies are going to be there. And now, this is the irony. In this sugar story, the DCI are supposed to investigate, while at the whole of this process, they were part and parcel of the multi-agency team. What do you expect? What do you really expect? Coincidentally, it is also at this time when the discussion about the consumption was going on that the price of sugar shot from 2 kg, shooting from 310 to over 450. Kenyans asking what exactly, and that is one of the questions that remain unexplained. Not even Waziri, not even the president, not even the spokesperson has given an explanation about it. And so, I want to say straight without blinking, the disappearance, that condemned sugar scandal, it looks like something stage managed for an objective. And that objective could be it was a trap. It could be a trap to eject someone from office. Maybe it was a trap that was there. Maybe he didn't know, but I don't think he didn't know. He knew, maybe he was on the know, but did not see that coming. Intentionally played in part of the script, but it was one of the, even in an organization, or currently the government is reconstituting, and they know very well that maybe Ruto have preferences here and there, Ruto and Rigathi and Musalia, preferences here and there. So an internal game can also be played, because surely if the key of that warehouse was locked, you can start, you don't need 10 theories to find out who opened and what happened. The place is protected by security, it has CCTV and everything. So it should not even take magical science. It looks like, number one, this was a trap erected for someone to leave office, and it thrived on deal went wrong. At what point, KEBS flagged it. So do you want to say if the whole multi-agency team, or even those who are securing it, they would have effected that without the leadership at the top knowing? You cannot. Why is the story, why is UDA silent about a probability of that sugar being sold to other ethanol producers? Why are we dominating the narrative, the dominant narratives that it might have been sold to the market, there is a high likelihood that, you know, when you narrow it to it has been sold, a risk of maybe it's in the market, you've already created the framework of your investigation. But if you leave it open-ended, so that it's the ethanol guys that have it, or someone on maybe alcohol, tengeneza pombe, or maybe it has been sold in the shelves. But the reason why I don't buy the story of the shelves is this. If KEBS could be thinking that the sugar was sold, then what they would have done immediately is to do some maybe advertisement in the media, warning people about maybe the standard sugar that you need to buy. In terms of mark, make sure you're on KEBS or this and that. You'll see that. Or make sure you buy from such brands. You would have seen that. But because that is not there, while there is a risk that people are saying maybe it has been sold, but there is no reciprocal action to show that threat that people are feeling that that sugar is already being consumed. So I don't buy it. And it looks like the script is well written and Ruto is just acting part of the script. Those who are suspended, you know, suspension is investigation, maliza unarudi, things go on after Kenyans forget. Ruto seems to be acting that script. And the big person is actually being producer. Now, what should worry President Ruto is the fact that he promised that he will deal with cartels. But those two scandals are exposing one thing, that he's surrounded by cartels. Yes, those two are showing that he's surrounded with cartels. And I don't think Ruto and Rigathi are out of the deal. They're out of the know. Maybe it's, I want to appreciate that maybe it's a very small deal, but a multi-agency, until even the KEBS boss is being fired, no. There is something that is not being told about it. But according to me, I think Ruto is right. Let some people go so that wale wenye wamebaki wanajaribu kufanya hiyo aone. But he should not forget that he's surrounded by cartels that are out to grab and take anything that is available. That's my take.